Okay, let's look at, before we move on in our red notebook, I want to read. I don't feel that we have actually read this entire standard together. So can we read it together? I can multiply a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1-digit whole number and multiply two-digit numbers using strategies based on place value and the properties of operations. I can describe the strategy and explain the reasoning. Okay, so this is important for us for a couple of reasons. Number one is this is a standard put out by the state of Indiana, and it says that we have to use place value strategies. Okay, those place value strategies give us our partial products. That is why it's going to be on iLearn. That is why iLearn is going to ask you for the partial products, because you have to be able to multiply by using place value strategies. Each strategy that we have learned so far breaks apart the number by place value. Or in this partial products strategy, it is multiplying it by the value of the digit. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, there's another key part, and this was something that some of us struggled with on the pre-test. It says, I can describe the strategy and explain the reasoning. So you need to be able to describe the strategy. Now, we're going to learn and practice doing that in a concise way so that we don't have to write 28 sentences to describe our strategy. Okay? But the thing I really want to hone in and focus on today is doing this 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication using a place value strategy. So in your red notebook, go ahead and put today's date, which is 11/11, and I'm pretty sure that's probably a lucky date.
Yeah, it is at 11/11. Yeah, everybody makes wishes at 11/11 and they're supposed to come true. And when it's actually 11.
That's pretty special. Okay, this title is 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. Okay? So we're just going to, I'm just going to come up with kind of an easy one. Let's do 34 times 75. That gives us not any like hard multiplication problems to come up with. And I want to show you it's a little different. We know when we did 1 digit by 3 digits, we had 3 boxes. When we did 1 digit by 4 digits, we had 4 boxes. Well, when we do 2 by 2, we need to have 2 up and 2 across.
Be quiet.
Okay. Now, we know because of the commutative property of multiplication that it doesn't matter if we do 34 times 75 or 75 times 34. So you can put one of the factors on the side and one on the top. I want you to put the same one I do just so we get the same partial products in the same boxes. So on the left side, let's do 30 plus 4. And across the top, let's do 70 plus 5. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I already solved it.
Okay. So this works just like a multiplication chart. So now you're really going to do 4 easy multiplication problems. We're going to start with 30 times 70, and then you go 30 times 5. So you take the first factor and you multiply it across both boxes. Then you're going to do 4 times 70 and 4 times 5. Okay, so the biggest issue what people have here is they don't multiply the right factors. So our first one is 30 times 70. So what is 3 times 7? And how many zeros do I need to add? 2, because there's a 0 here and a 0 here. I can tell you that always that top left box you're going to add 2 zeros if you have 2 2-digit factors. Always. Okay? Now we have 30 times 5. So So 3 times 5 is, and we had how many zeros? Okay. Always, this one is going to have 1 0. And this one is going to be adding 1 0. And this one is going to be adding 0 zeros. Okay, so adding 2, adding 1, not adding a 0. Okay, so now we have 4 times 70. You go across and up. So what is 4 times 7? 28. How many zeros do I add? 1. And then now I have 4 times 5. What is 4 times 5?
20.
Okay, and so these 4 numbers are called my... Okay, and you can just come over here to the right. Okay, can you please quit talking? Add those together. And you get 2,550. That's your product. Remember that we want to circle our complete total product. Okay, so I want to take just a minute here and I want to talk about explaining the strategy. Okay, and the strategy that the explanation is going to be the same no matter which place value strategy you're using. Okay, so we don't have to say I drew a box. That isn't really part of the strategy. That's just organizing it, okay? So our first step, and you can even number the steps. What did we do here? What did I do here? What's my first step? No, we don't say drawing a square. Yes. No, I didn't multiply yet. What did I do first? Dane? No. Marin? Okay, so let's write break apart. And what do we call these numbers? No, these numbers. Break apart each factor by place value. Okay, now we need a number 2. Okay. Multiply each part of the first factor by each part of the second factor. Okay, that's really the easiest way to say it. You'd multiply the 30 by the 70 and 30 by the 5. That's the first part of the first factor, multiplying it by the first and second part of the second factor. Then we did 4. We multiplied each part of the first factor, the 30 and the 4, by each part of the second factor, the 70 and the 5. That's the easiest way to say it. And then what is our last step? What's our last step, Eloise? Add the partial products. And that is all you have to write. It doesn't matter which the only strategy that's different is the partial product strategy. Yes, Rowan. Do you mean, can you like say I did 30 times 40?
No, I can do.
Can you write numbers 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Yes, you can write numbers 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, then I want to tell you that on the test, you have to show a partial. Luke, do you care if I show your pretest that you didn't have time to finish? Okay, you have to show partial products on number 7. Because number 7 is the one you have to explain the strategy. So you have to use a place value strategy. Please put that up. Number 7 is the only one. So by the time we take the test next Friday, if you like the standard algorithm best, you can use it on each question except for number 7. Because on number 7, you have to show the partial products because you have to explain your strategy. It has to be a place value strategy. It can't be the standard algorithm. Okay? So you can truly use whatever strategy you're feeling most confident with, except number 7, you have to use a place value strategy. And on the test, we will not use repeated addition. You have to either use a place value strategy or the standard algorithm. Because our standard says we can use strategies based on place value, and repeated addition is not based on place value. Yes, sir. On the pretest, I said you could use. But if you only use repeated addition, you'll have to do the post-test to show me that you can multiply. Okay, so now let's just take a second and let's do one of these. I'll do one more with you.
Yes.
45 times 63. Okay, so we're going to draw our 4 boxes. We'll go through it a lot quicker, and then I'll let you do this one, next one on your own. Okay, I did 40 plus 5 on the left side, 60 plus 3 on the right side. On the top. That would be weird if I did it on the right side. Okay, now 4 times 6 is 24, and then you have your 2 zeros. Remember, I said always that first box will be add 2 zeros. 40 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Add 1 0. 60 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Add a 0. 5 times 3 is 15. Now we just take our partial products and add those together to get 2,835. Okay, using this strategy, I want you to solve on your own this last one. 72 times 54. You can raise your hand.